Can you believe you've only put up with me on YouTube for 6 months? Well, we're celebrating that milestone plus crossing 300 subscribers with a little Q&A and a giveaway. So hurry back.
Just an 80s boy and a 90s teen, going on all things Disney, from mouse to parks and in between. Come share the magic with me. La 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 la. Live your life to a Disney tune. Come and share Jake's Disney Afternoon.
Hey Disney Afternoon gang, welcome back to my channel. If you're returning here, you're the reason I've been here for the past 6 months, so we have you to blame. And if you're new, I hope we have you to blame for the next 6 months. Just kidding. I am so glad to be celebrating my 6-month anniversary with all of you. We are over 300 subscribers, over 350 at the time of this taping, and show no sign of stopping. So thank you all for your support. I cannot believe I'm here. Wow, 6 months in. It seems like a long time, and yet it hardly seems like any time at all. I've gotten to know so many of you. I've gotten to be a part of this community. I've made a ton of friends, a couple enemies, but you know, isn't that the way it always goes? So I've got a Q&A for you tonight, maybe a little bit of a chance to get to know me better. So if you're new, maybe you'll want to stick around and help us build a better community. And then I've got a really awesome giveaway, so you're gonna have to wait till the end, but don't just skip to the end. Like, just sit through this part. It's gonna be fine. I promise. All right, so I've got my list. Thank you to all of you who submitted questions. So let's just dive in. So I'm gonna start with my good friend Louisa Ruby, my internet sister, YouTube sister. What do we call each other? One of those things. Internet sister doesn't sound right. She asks, what is the most underrated Disney movie and the most overrated Disney movie? All right, so without any doubt, if you've been here for a little minute on my channel, you probably know I'm going to pick some, 80s-ish movies, and I'm going to pick 2, Louisa, just for each category. Oliver and Company, one of my favorites, one of the great musical soundtracks, kind of that light that sparked really the rest of the Disney Renaissance, based on the Dickens classic, which I love Dickens, I love the original book, I love animals, the dogs, the cats, all of it. Just a great movie, and I feel like it just doesn't quite get enough love, although I think it's gotten more love somewhat recently. Also Robin Hood, 1973, I want to say. It's kind of this weird outlier film. It's wacky, it's short. I love, again, the animals, the rhinoceros guards. I don't know why they're a thing. Here's a picture. The score by Roger Miller. It's just a lot of fun, and I don't know, just doesn't get enough love. All right, I'm prepared for the thumbs down and the at-me's in the comments for my overrated movies. We know I don't love Pixar, but Up? What? Up? I don't get it. It just, I don't get it. I don't get it. Also, Inside Out. What is it about even? What's happening? All right, come for me in the comments. It's really fine. DMingle08 asks, do you collect pressed pennies at the park? I don't, actually. I know a lot of people do, and I remember when we took my nephew at one point, we had gotten some, I think they're fun for kids to just kind of watch, like, the crank process. But the pressed penny thing, which I remember, like, at Six Flags and a few other theme parks growing up, had, like, the pressed penny thing, and it just never did it for me. So tell me in the comments, do you collect the pressed pennies? And what do you love about collecting those pressed pennies? All right, moving on. Jess over at Upside Down Disney asks, what would your dream Disney vacation look like? All right, well, endless money, I think, is part of that equation, because, any dream vacation is going to cost the beaucoup dollars. But I would love to be at Disney World for like 2 straight weeks in one of the luxury hotels. I don't even know if I kind of want to stay at the Contemporary just because I feel like it's so iconic. I just remember seeing that resort like in all the ads growing up when I never went to Disney. I don't know, so there's like a little nostalgia thing. But I want the luxury of like going to the park when I want to, kind of bouncing around when I want to, going back to the hotel. I'd like to be able to do like a really nice reservation dinner each night and like chill, food and wine, and then like ease onto the fireworks. I think most of the times I've been at Disney, it's always like go, 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 because you're there for such a short time. It costs a lot of money and you want to, of course, get the most of your day. I want the opportunity to like enjoy it luxuriously and very slowly. And I think that just takes time and money. Although I will say, when we were there in March, when it was still pretty low key, like 40% capacity, Epcot kind of felt that way because you were not just fighting with people. It was like a little eat, a little sit. So I enjoyed that, but would like to do that like ongoing for a long time. Yeah, I guess that's my dream vacation. Katrina _Scolpini 23 asked 2 things about YouTube in particular, which I thought was an interesting ask. If you could change anything about YouTube, not my channel, but just about YouTube as a platform, what would it be? So let me answer that. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like maybe, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know if I have an answer. I don't know if I've been on YouTube long enough for it to matter. I mean, for me to like really figure out what I don't love. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody help me answer that in the questions. And then she asked, secondly, is your YouTube channel where you wanted it to be when you started? 6 months ago, when I started this, I had zero expectations for this channel. I just wanted an outlet for Disney love and my collections and just some fun coming out of the stressful year of COVID, which I think was probably a lot of people's reason. We just needed an outlet. And so am I thrilled where it is? Yeah, I've made some great friends. I feel like I've got, you know, decent people who are interested in what I do, and yeah, I don't have any expectations. So I'm thrilled that it's here, and I'm thrilled that you keep tuning in each week, because I'm doing something right, and that feels good. Anybody relate to that? Yeah? Clipper and Kitten, my good pals, asked, how long did it take to write your theme song? Lots of people comment on the theme song, and I think I've talked about this before, but one of the things I was like adamant about when I was going to start my channel, in fact, the first video I released was the theme song. I just remember growing up with all those theme songs and wanted it to have that like 80s, early 90s feel. But as far as writing it, I wrote it and produced it in about 3 hours in an afternoon. I just kind of sat down at the piano here and I was like, all right, just go. And we did it, and I put it up, and at some point I was like, you know, maybe I'll do like a more produced version, or I'll get other singers on it or something. And I've just kind of been using the same one, and people kind of seem to respond to it. I've got some other ideas how I'm going to switch it up. Don't panic, it's not going anywhere, but some fun ideas maybe for some different holiday related things. But yeah, just a couple hours in an afternoon. How long, and then they asked secondly, how long have you been teaching? So I am going into my 20th year teaching. Yeah. At 3 different schools now, and the current school that I'm at is the longest I've been at a school, and you know, I love it, and I don't know if I set out to be a teacher, but here I am teaching and loving it. Let's see. All right, so I've got 2 list questions. I'm gonna tackle one of them now. So this is from one of my students, Allie. Allie, I'm not gonna say your Instagram name on here just for reasons. But watch out, Allie is gonna be CEO of Disney someday. She is gonna be the next Michael Eisner, and I want a job, just, okay? She asks, what is your ranking of all of the Magic Kingdom attractions? I feel like this is revenge. I had to do a lot of homework and thinking into this. I feel like this is student revenge. So I've got my list. I had to write them all out. There's 4. I I made sort of executive decisions on a couple things that were listed on a couple of lists that I saw. There are 4 things I've actually never done. I'm going to just be upfront with those right now. Country Bear Jamboree, the Hall of Presidents, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It's always long every time I'm there. And Space Mountain. I don't know why, I just haven't done those 4, so I've kind of eliminated those from the question. So, starting from my, how did she ask me to rank them? Oh, just ranking. So I'm going to start least favorite to most favorite. Starting with my least favorite, Liberty Square Riverboat. Meh. Magic Carpets of Aladdin. Meh. Mad Tea Party. It's fine, it's fun, it's charming, I suppose. Swiss Family Treehouse. I think I would like this one more if it wasn't always so darn hot. Like climbing stairs up into the atmosphere in a giant tree does not thrill me. But I love Swiss Family Robinson. I love the idea of an interactive treehouse, but the heat factor just ranks it up there for me. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Sometimes wooden roller coasters don't do it for my back, so purely out of that reason, it's higher in the list. Dumbo Flying Elephants. This one's probably higher on the list than it should be, maybe. But Dumbo is like the thing that we saw in all of the ads. There was just something like iconic and nostalgic about it. Yeah, it just goes round and round and up and down, but it was the thing that we grew up, a lot of us seeing as like, come to Disney World and fly in the sky with Dumbo. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, fun ride game. Mickey's PhilharMagic. I'm a sucker for these like air-conditioned 3D movies, but this one has all like the nostalgic feels of the Disney Renaissance film and the kind of sing-along nature of it. Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid. Again, a fun ride and probably more connected to the era in which I grew up, so that's why it's a little higher on the list. Splash Mountain, who doesn't love a good log flume? I'm excited for the reinvention of it for Princess and the Frog and look forward to riding it there, but I do love the Splash Mountain. Haunted Mansion, I only rode this a couple of years ago for the first time, and I was like, oh, I've been missing a lot. I don't know what I thought it was, but that's a really fun ride, and as Disney's released like the makings of like different things, I've enjoyed learning about that attraction. Moving up, Pirates of the Caribbean, classic ride, fun, it's indoors, it's cool. I love being on the water, sort of the boat ride thing, and it's classic Disney. And then my final 5, my top 5 are 5, Tiki Room. Who doesn't love the Tiki Room? That just brings me back to like Sherman Brothers nostalgic, and the simplicity of what they were trying to do in that era. Jungle Cruise. I heard that they did some refurbishment on it in, is it maybe only Disneyland? I don't know, but I like the way that it was. It's fun. It probably doesn't need an update, but the jokes, it's a comfortable ride. It's a good time. Carousel of Progress, you know, the one Walt touched, the one Walt really kind of saw through to completion, and there's a lot of nostalgia. Plus, on a hot day, that thing is never busy. You can pop in there and cool off for a half hour. A lot of these have to do with the heat. You notice that? Number 2, Peter Pan's Flight. Peter Pan's one of my favorite films. I do feel like Peter Pan could use a little bit of an update, like make it a little bit more surrounding you, but I just have fun on that ride. And number 1, at me if you want, but Small World. The song, I love the song. I love the puppets. I love the world feel. I love the like community coming together, the message of it all. Just love it. Thanks, Allie. I did my homework. You proud of me? Thank you. All right, moving along. Missy Jean 2 asks, who is your favorite Disney character and what is your favorite Disney song? These are challenging questions. I'm going to pick for my favorite character, Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast. I don't know why he resonates with me so much. I loved him as a kid. I love his style, his animation. I love his, like, maybe it's his showmanship as being in theater and music. Be Our Guest is one of my favorite numbers. I don't know. Lumiere. It might change in a few months, but he's always at the top of one of those lists. And then, you know, I went a little bit cheesy with favorite Disney song. When You Wish Upon a Star, it's got to be it. It just, every iteration, every time it's used in a logo, every time it's used in the actual film, every time you whistle it or hear it at the fireworks, it just connects you immediately to that feeling, into that Disney magic. Is my hat sliding? can't tell if it's sort of a dunce cap, but it's not. It's really like sparkly and magical. Or it's like a weird like princess cap. I don't know what's happening. All right. Moving ahead. Disney Crazy Family asks, what movie shows do you think need more representation in the park attractions or a meet and greet? Of course, I'm going to say the Disney afternoon characters, particularly I think DuckTales. It just came off a really popular run, a modern reinvention, which I actually liked. It took me a little minute to get into it, but I thought the writing was really clever and really funny. The designs are okay, but they grow on you after a while. But I feel like with the release of Disney Plus, a lot of kids are getting back into like Darkwing Duck and Gummy Bears and Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers, and I feel like they could use a little bit more representation in the parks. All right, where am I on this list? Oh, okay, here we go. Sorry, couple more. Thrifty Nerdy Mom, April, asks, if you had to be transformed and live in a Disney movie or show, which would it be? So I picked two because I couldn't decide. The first is Neverland. I love Peter Pan. I love the never grow up, idea. I love the adventures, the constant adventures, especially if you read the books. That idea that like adventure is always lurking is really prevalent, more so in the film than in the film. And then is it Atlantica in The Little Mermaid? Is that what it's called? Anyway, I love under the water. I love fish. I love that whole life. Wish I could be under the sea. So Ariel and I could trade. I just love being in the water. So that always struck me as a place I would really enjoy living. All right, another list, a shorter list than this one. Goofy Stories asked me, what's your least to most favorite Disney afternoon cartoon of the 90s? Great question. So, here we go, from worst to best. Yes. Number worst, Schnookums and Meat funny cartoon show. Get out of here. I don't even know what that is, and I hate it already. Quack Pack. Do you remember the Quack Pack? It was DuckTales when they were teenagers. Nobody needs to see that. I tried to watch it during the pandemic again, and I was like, yep, no. Mighty Ducks. I should probably watch Mighty Ducks again, the cartoon series, because I love the films. I think by the time Mighty Ducks was coming out in the late 90s, I was drifting away a little bit from some of that afternoon, Saturday morning television. Bonkers. It was all right. Cartoons at that point were becoming a little bit more Looney Tunesy, which I love the Looney Tunes, don't get me wrong, but they were more silly rather than straightforward. Gargoyles, this hat. Are we here for this? I worked so hard on that hair. Gargoyles is okay. I watched part of it during the pandemic, and I didn't get into it as a kid. There's a lot to like about it. It's in the middle. Timon and Pumbaa. I love The Lion King. I thought the antics were funny. Again, it was pushing towards that humor, but because Timon and Pumbaa came from Lion King, which was such a weighty film, I feel like it carried some of that weight, even though the show itself was silly. Goof Troop. Goof Troop was fun. As we're getting closer to the bottom, some of these are just splitting hairs. But Goof Troop was probably one of the last ones I really was feeling like I was getting into. Aladdin the series. I loved every second of that show. The adventure, the characters, just loved it. Gummy Bears is next. So we're in top 5. Gummy Bears, DuckTales, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, and Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. And probably on any given day, those 5 could flop a little bit. They're the OG Disney afternoon, and I love them all equally and for all very different reasons. Probably Chip 'n Dale would still always end towards 1 or 2. That one's definitely one of my very favorites. I didn't bring up the Wuzzles because, first of all, the question was about the 90s, and second of all, people split hairs on whether it was part of the Disney afternoon. All right, we're running a little long. Bear with me. Thank you, everybody. We're having a birthday party. Indulge me for like a hot second. Trix Park Life asked, Why do you like Disney so much, and what does Disney mean to you? I feel like part of Disney is exposure at an early age. It's definitely a style and a philosophy. I love the artistry. You know, I think I've said before, I want to be, who knows, an animator. I love that style. I love, yeah, the artistry, you know, for me, the music, the storytelling. The storytelling is so solid in just about every film. Not all of them, but they do it almost better than anyone does. Disney just means nostalgia and safety and comfort, magic. And with that, I'm going to lead into my last question. Broadway Disney fan DC asks, what is Disney magic to you? And I thought really long and hard about what it is, because it's often that thing like we can't put our finger on, but I came up with this. For me, Disney magic is escapism from the world that is and a dream about a world that could be. Put it on a t-shirt. Philosophy over. Okay, that's my Q&A. I hope we got to know each other a little bit better. I would love to know some of your answers. Pick a question, any one of them. Leave me your answer down below. I want to get to know you a little bit more. But let's get to the... Oh no, I'm going to do one more thing. Pick up the notebook. We're going backwards. I started a thing on my channel a couple of... I don't know how long ago it was. A week ago. Is it only a week ago? Called Channel Surfing, where I want to highlight and elevate a few other channels that we should be following if you're not aware of them, or if you haven't checked in with them and given them some love and support. So I'm going to give you 4 more channels that you should be following and checking out. Couple of them had questions on this thread. Clipper and Kitten, they're awesome. They do a lot of the vintage things. We grew up in kind of the same generation, so we have a lot of fondness for that sort of 80s and 90s era. Kitten loves Pocahontas, and Clipper likes Donald Fauntleroy Duck. How'd I do, Clipper? Not very good. Go watch him do it. He's hilarious. He brings it up every time on the channel. They do all kinds of interesting things like fan packs, which I'd never heard of, and if you haven't, go check that out. They do a lot of like thrifting and traveling around like the Eastern Kentucky area, and their accents are great. We love them. So link down below. If you're not do it, follow. Upside Down Disney, Jess over at Upside Down Disney, she is like a stone's throw across the river from me, and one of these days we're gonna like meet up. I don't know why that's not happening. We're going to do that. She does really awesome content. She does, I mean, just about everything. Pins and hauls. I think she's getting into swaps recently. Is that true? Am I misspeaking that? She has a fun collection. She loves Marie and Little Mermaid and all the things. So she's just a lot of fun, and she was one of the channels I remember finding early on that I really just enjoyed, like her tone and her manner on screen, which is like a big deal. And she's great. So if you don't know her, Upside Down Disney, check her out. Moving along, Two Tiny Wings. If you don't know Two Tiny Wings, you're living under a rock, or you're new. I didn't know them for a while. Mary and Allie, and sometimes Pete and gang, are awesome. First of all, they're teachers, which I totally relate to, and Allie teaches English. It's English and theater, right? So we've talked about theater before, but they have a really fun vibe and a really fun energy. They're always upbeat. They're always just really positive, and I just so enjoy that about them. They do all kinds of things. They do a lot of vlogs and trips down to the parks, and they do, you know, pins and unboxings, swaps, all the things, but they're just really great folk. If you don't know them, you know what to do. And then finally, Clarissa and Tim and Rufio the dog over at a couple of kiddos. Their name just says it all. They have just such like a childlike spirit that I just love. They are fun. They are funny. They get excited about things. They're out in California, so they do Disneyland out that way, and they've been vlogging the opening, and they were there for fireworks on July 4th and different things, so they are totally worth checking out. All 4 channels. If you don't know them, go show them some Disney love, give them a shout out, like and subscribe, comment on their things. You're not going to regret it. Channel surfing. I'm going to come up with like a little thing like channel surfing. Did I just do it? Is that it? All right. I'll go back to the piano. Okay. Giveaway, give a giveaway. So here's how the giveaway is going to work. This giveaway is only for the 353 or whatever number I'm at right now subscribers that have gotten me through the past 6 months. I want to honor the people who are here, the people who are commenting and liking and subscribing and sharing the Disney love with me. I know that what happens in a lot of giveaways is the looky-loos come on, they search the hashtags, they go on and try to give away, and I'm not interested in giving you a prize. Now, if you're new, here's what I will say. I'm going to do a lot more giveaways, and the only way you're going to be a part of them is to be a part of the Disney Afternoon gang. Because I just feel strongly that I want to support those who are supporting me. That's my rule. And it's a good rule. A lot of people are starting to do that. And so this is my gift back to you. Thank you for getting me through 6 months. And I look forward to another 6. So be publicly subscribed, 18 or older. We'll do anywhere. If you're not in the US, I'll send it to you. Not the end of the world, because you've been here and you deserve a chance to be returned some magic. Is that it? That's it. So let's talk about the prize. So it's in this bag. It's a Loungefly, but I'm going to show you mine because I don't want to take it out of this bag. I thought it appropriate on the Disney, sorry Marlon, on the Disney Afternoon channel that I give away one of my very favorite Loungefly bags, the DuckTales bag. Just look at the stunning colors. This is one of the early bags I picked up. I haven't even used it. The tags and like the things are still on it. But I wanted to do something that represented my channel. And several of you, oddly enough, have commented about this DuckTales bag. And I was like, just pay attention. Anyway, here it is. So here's what you're going to do down in the comments for me. If you are interested in being entered into the giveaway, you're going to answer one of the questions that I answered. Pick any one of them, answer it down below. Bag falling. Hashtag DuckTales Loungefly in the comment. That way I know that you're interested. If you're not interested, that's okay, because there are some that I don't enter just because I don't want to take away the prize for something I don't want or collect. So if you want to answer a question but don't put the hashtag, great. I won't count you in the swap. But let's give this out to somebody. I'm going to close it tomorrow. Today's Friday, Saturday. A week from today at midnight for the giveaway. Again, it is only open to those of you who have gotten me through the past 6 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I could not have done this without you. I'm having the time of my life on YouTube, and it's all thanks to you. So until the next 6 months of the Disney Afternoon.